Hello people of YouTube, it's Deepak here, and welcome to the DCS news for the 27th of September 2025. I hope you all enjoyed my most recent video all about the A10C2 tank killer from Eagle Dynamics. Today we'll be taking a little bit of a look at the APKWS, or maybe you Americans call it an APQUIS or something, I don't know, the Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System. It's always a bit of a laugh just to say that. It's a very, very ridiculous name for a weapon. So, welcome to the stream, Tea Kettle Barbecue, number 1. Bean a Babe, welcome. Sean I Am 81, Tech Gaming 45, Tog, Evangelos, Kaya, Plain Go Swoosh, yes indeed. Pink Floyd, welcome. Charts, Mangash, hello everybody. JP Gibbons, and someone else to welcome to the stream is John Bluer.
Hey. Hello, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing most splendid. The analog kid says yo. People are still saying yo. That's cool, man. Really cool.
You instantly made yourself sound like a dad now anyway, so
hey, fellow kids.
Amazing.
Funky. Anyway, so what was I going to say now? Yeah, I was welcoming everyone to the stream. So, yeah, demonstrated the APKWS, got a few more weapons to go now on the A10, and then we'll probably dive into some advanced functionalities as well. Oh, Tea Kettle Barbecue is doing his thing. Thank you very much indeed. 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I've got the little scrolly text thing now. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. It has started.
It's already started, yeah.
Jeff, welcome to the stream. Cool. Thank you so much, Tea Kettle Barbecue. Your support is amazing. Thank you so much. Kettle's at it again. Mad lad. Absolute mad lad. So, yes, we have some bits and bobs to go over today. We've got the Eagle Dynamics newsletter as always. I haven't selected my browser window yet. Boom, there it is. So yeah, we have this week's newsletter. This went live yesterday, 26th of September. Dear fighter pilots, partners, and friends, our traditional autumn sale has begun. Enjoy up to half price across a wide range of aircraft, terrains, campaigns, and important add-ons. These great savings will run until the 13th of October 2025 at 1500 GMT. Please visit the shop. Thank you. By Grabthar's Hammer, the savings. Such
a
savings.
Galaxy Quest quote. It will always go down well with me. Fantastic.
Yeah. This week's patch brings meaningful progress for the DCS Mig-29A Fulcrum, with enhancements to the 3D damage model and a range of new options, including an English HUD and HDD, lower resolution cockpit textures, and a controls indicator. We've also added new Georgia 2008 missions, improved radar behavior, and delivered a host of fixes across animations, cockpit elements, IFF, and INS alignment. The manual has also been updated. And don't miss the new FA-18C and F-14 Iron Tide campaign by Sandman Simulations. The latest patch is live, so please update your DCS builds to enjoy the latest fixes. Oh my. Eagle Wings, welcome. And Tog, at this rate, Deep will be able to afford that moving flight seat. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm still saving up my pennies to try and get one of those fancy new VR headsets from. Oh, what is it? Who makes the crystal again?
Pimax.
Pimax, yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be the cool thing that everybody has these days. I'm still running an HP Reverb G2, which is still actually very, very good. But yeah. I'll upgrade one day.
I'm still a 2D. What do you call it? A 2D pleb. I still stick to that. I've tried VR. I think the problem is because I still stream occasionally. Streaming, especially for VR, is just not. It's not conducive, really. I've only seen a couple people make it work, and especially when you want like stabilization and stuff. So to keep it simple, I just do 2D with Track IR, but. I was watching a fantastic video actually. That's the thing I was going to ask you before we get onto this is how have you found the MiG-29 so far? How have you been doing it? Yeah,
very happy with it. I think it's great.
It's a very good module. Really impressed with it. What I like about it is whilst the cockpit ergonomics are really very Soviet.
Uh-huh.
The benefit we have, and I think even Wags himself kind of said this. He's like, yeah, it's kind of jank, but like we luckily have HOTAS and we can rebind stuff, so you can kind of benefit from our own gear. But I was finding once you kind of get past the little idiosyncrasies, it's actually like a nice little aircraft. It's very simple, and it does what you want from it. Like as long as you don't expect too much from it, whatever you want it to do, it will do. And yeah, it's really cool. I watched. It was really interesting, and this is why I bring up the MiG-29. I watched there's a fantastic content creator on here called Bullet for My Enemy, and he did a little like breakdown of the MiG-29, and he said in VR you can see the little like the box up it's on the helmet. He said it's
the wee antlers on your helmet.
Yeah,
it's like you're moving your head around and you see your wee antlers. It's really cool. I like it.
And he said that like when you bring the visor down, so not the HDD or whatever it's called, the HMS site, but the actual visor.
Yeah, the actual tinted visor.
It actually gets reflections on the inside, and he said it's the most of all the like in a game or something. He said it really does feel like you've got a helmet on in the game, and it really looks like a sun visor. It's as if he said it feels like sunglasses. The one thing I found interesting though, he said, and he was still testing things out. He said he thinks there's a bit of a bug with the MiG-29 as far as the radar performance in multiplayer. He said he's still testing things out. It seems to be very different from single player. He said now the difficult thing is that it could be that, you know, it's multiplayer, it's a human flying a jet. They might be better at notching and all that kind of stuff. But he said it definitely seems quite a large difference. So he said, he was like, let me kind of figure this out. But he suspects there might be a little bit of it's underperforming a little bit, the radar, especially in multiplayer. But he said in single player, he had very little issues getting locks and keeping a lock.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the only thing he picked up, which I thought was interesting.
I've only played it single player so far. And, you know, the radar... it's nothing like the radars in the Hornet or the Viper. You're not getting nearly that kind of performance out of it, but it works. It seems to work for me anyway. What was I going to say now?
VR stuff, was it MiG-29 stuff? And then the only thing he did say was he was like, basically, you got to remember it's almost like a 3rd gen radar in a 4th gen fighter. And he said once you understand it that way, it makes a lot more sense. So he's like, if you do get an emerge and you are doing BFM stuff, he said it's like a fully flat. It will hold up against any Hornet, anything like that, any F-16. It will hold its own. He said, but he said when it comes to like BVR, it almost feels like the Phantom.
Yes.
So it's just interesting. But no, I really like it. I've really enjoyed it. And like I said, the thing with apparently all the helmet stuff, including the HMS and all that in VR is. I've heard second hand, what you want to call it, is very good. So,
the immersion in VR is amazing, and I think I've benefited because I still have the mindset from the MiG-21. So you can take basically everything you've learned from the 21 and mostly apply it to the 29.
Yeah,
you can see that lineage in the aircraft, which is very, very cool. Who have we got? We've got people dropping in. Hello, Only Napalm. Hello, Viking Cat.
You love Crumpet.
Yeah, relax.
He knows me from. He definitely knows me from a server because my for the longest time on multiplayer, my call sign was Crumpet11. So, yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Relax with Griffin. I have the Pimax Crystal Light on a 4090. Good, but you're going for a Pimax. Go for the Super. If you're going for a Pimax, go for the Super.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Welcome, Sim Taylor. And any ladies that might happen to blunder in here. Well, I don't know. I don't think they would survive such an experience. The overpowering masculinity might be too much for most, and that's just coming from John.
Yeah, what can I say?
Only Napalm. Soviet/Russian design has always been more practical than user-friendly. That's the thing. Like the 29, like in the 21, it was definitely like some things were kind of sensible and some things were like, why have they done this? The 29 falls way more into the category of, okay, I can see what they're doing here. Like things are kind of grouped together. Okay, they might not necessarily be exactly where you would want them, but at least things are grouped together in a sensible way, I would say, in the 29. So it's easy enough to fly.
Yeah. It's again it's a really interesting. I think we've talked about this before, but it's a really interesting like examination into how like even doctrine as a wider concept will affect something as simple as the layout of a cockpit in a jet, because they're going to be like, well, you're going to be like, they're very much reliant on the MiG-29's role was a short range, interceptor effectively. It was point defense, and it was supposed to, get up quickly. It's why it's got such a good climb rate as well.
Hmm.
And
the
other
startup
thing, it was
is so automated. Like you flip a few switches and hit that push button, and you're good to go in pretty short order. And the INS alignment being pretty much entirely automated.
Yeah, it's very automated. That's the other thing. It's very automated. It's just like turn this switch on and it's on. Turn this on and it's on, and you can just get ready and get up. So
and there's no programming your initial position or setting up your radios, because only the ground crew can do that. So like the aircraft has to have already been prepped, otherwise you're not flying it.
It is very much like it's compartmentalized. Is a good way to look at it. Like is in like in what's the word for it, in your role, like you're just as a pilot, your job is just to get up there. And then even like what they're going to soon add with the whole GCI stuff,
yes.
And GCI is giving you like, not data link, whatever it's called, but whatever that system is, it's all very compartmentalized, and the understanding is you fit into a role, and that you stick within that role. Whereas if you look at the doctrine of a lot of Western aircraft, there's a lot more kind of multi-role, a lot more, we're giving the pilots a lot more what's the word for it,
control, I guess.
Control, whatever it is, license to do what they feel like the right thing is to do in that time. So,
it is kind of funny. So like you look at a Western aircraft, and the INS will tend to have a bunch of pages and MFDs. You'll have a mode switch. There might be some other bits and bobs that allow you to interact with it. The entirety of the pilot's interaction with the INS and the MiG is you have a switch that either has it in preparing or operating, and a green light. That's all. That's it. That's all your interaction with the INS system. Everything else is underneath some service panel on the outside.
Well, in a way, though, like you can kind of understand that perspective, because it's a widely exported aircraft, and it's still flying, and there must be something to the success of the MiG-29 in that, just keeping this straightforward and simple. And it probably, a lot of that approach probably cuts down a lot of training, and a lot of that stuff. So
I'm not complaining. I think it's great. Like, it's a totally different focus for the pilot. Like in a Western aircraft, you'd be like, okay, I'll do my checks. I'll make sure that all these numbers are correct and blah, blah, blah. In the 29, you don't need to think about any of that, because the ground crew's done everything for you, which is great.
Yeah, it's like in Soviet Russia, pilot not progress INS program you. Yeah, so just go up there and do what you need to do. Yeah.
You imagine them asking the Soviet pilots like detailed questions about the systems of the aircraft, and they'd be like, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I just fly.
Yeah. Get out of here, stalker. Yeah.
Get out of here, stalker. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Stalker, bloody hell.
Oh, Stalker's amazing. So anyway, back to the newsletter. We do have the Autumn Sale. You get up to 50% off. And in fact, quite a lot of aircraft here in the 50% category. This is kind of nice. If I had to pick out any that I think are absolute musts, I'm wondering, are there any? Well, Viggen. The Viggen just received a big update. Actually, I started watching my own tutorials for the Viggen, because, of course, that's the only way you can learn the aircraft, is by watching Deepak, obviously. Even when you're Deepak, you have to watch Deepak. And I got back in the Viggen in the last few days, and really enjoying it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Did you leave comments on your own videos again? You're so good at this. I'm so glad. Subscribed, yeah.
Oh, man.
You subscribed to yourself.
Thumbs up. I then logged into my other 10 accounts and did the same. Brilliant. Just like it makes me think about the Spider-Man picture where they're all pointing at each other, but it's all the Deepaks interacting with each other on Deepak's video.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
Yeah, when it comes to helicopters, I'm going to give a shout out to one that I haven't touched recently, but is a classic, the Mi-8. Very, very nice aircraft. I think I've already sang the praises of pretty much every other helicopter in this list, especially the Gazelle. But yeah, I would go Mi-8 actually right now.
Yeah. What would I pick if I've never? I would, maybe I'm biased, if I didn't have any of those and someone said, which one should I buy that's on sale, I'd probably pick the 64, especially with some of the updates it's had. I think it's just the most complete module, and there's just so much you can do with it. I mean, it's difficult, right? Because they're all really good. Like, all of them in that list there. You got 64, you got the Black Shark 3, which is fantastic. The Hind is fantastic. The MI8 is fantastic. The Gazelle's fantastic. Huey's fantastic. Huey's probably getting a little bit long in the tooth now with certain aspects, but I think they've been hinting a little bit about going back to that thing and giving it a facelift. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets an F. I think not in the not too distant future. My prediction is it's going to get an F5 treatment. I think it's going to get a little bit of a remaster.
Going to do an F5. Some people talking about the effect that VR has on their stomach. I still this is back when I had an Oculus Rift. I remember this from years ago. The first time I pulled the ejection handle in DCS while in VR, that changed my life. It was incredibly unpleasant.
Yeah, I remember one of my first experiences. I've talked about this before. Was the original pre-release Oculus Rift.
Oh yeah, the developer,
so it was the
model
developer pack. Yeah, and my buddy of mine, he was like, "Do you want to check it out?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so he put on Alien Isolation, and that game's scary enough as it is anyway. So playing that with a VR was terrifying.
That's one of my favorite first-person games, Alien Isolation. I think it's amazing.
It's absolutely incredible, and the visual development. I don't get me gushing on Alien Isolation. I'm one of those people where I'm like, there's only 3 Alien installments. It's Alien, Aliens, and Alien Isolation. I'm like, and people are like, what about Alien 3? I'm like, what Alien 3? What are you talking about? Resurrection. What film? I've never heard of that. Is this new?
Apparently, the director of Romulus was very inspired by Alien Isolation.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, Alien Isolation just nailed the vibe. Anyway, yeah, so I played that, and then I remember looking right, and then I was playing with a controller because that's the only way you can kind of play with it, and then turning the controller left at the same time, and it was the complete disconnect of things, and I literally went from 0 to like 99 towards puking. I barely stopped myself from vomiting.
Throw the headset off and lie down on the floor.
I had to, and the worst thing was, this is the early one, so this is a big bulky thing, right? Which the front of you, like, you're just sweating underneath it, and then I had these big headsets, and then I was in this room. It wasn't a very big room. It was like, you could probably touch the other sides of each side of the room. So I was in this, like, I felt like I was being like hotboxed. It was horrific. And then I've got an alien chasing me. I'm like feeling sick, and I can hear like a boop, 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 boop. I can hear the motion tracker bleeping. Boop, boop, boop. I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be sick, and I'm gonna die.
I'm either gonna be killed or I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, both the Viper and the Hornet here with 40% off. We've got Tomcat, Thunder are both 30% off. These are all good modules. 25% off the Phantom 2. And then the list of shame, the modules that are not on sale, the remastered F4, the Mirage F1. That's a shame. The Mirage F1's amazing. The Kiowa Warrior, the Chinook. So we've got a few items here that are not on sale, but a bunch of really, really good stuff there. And my big shout out's definitely the MI8 for a helicopter. I think that's well worth a peek. And the Viggen. Yeah. The Viggen is still going strong all these years later. Yeah. It gets updates all the time, and it's looking absolutely fantastic.
I would give a mini shout out to, and I've not flown it a ton, but I know loads of people who rant on about it, is the MiG-21. I think the MiG-21 is a really cool jet, and it's still great and still does everything you kind of need from it.
You know what? So, yes. I've always enjoyed the MiG-21. Where is that in the list, actually?
It's 50%. Yeah, it's
on 50%. Well, there we go. The MiG-21. Yeah, the MiG-21 is fantastic. And it's again, it's also had remasters, so it's still going strong. Very, very nice indeed.
Do you know what is a bit odd? They've got all of the Flaming Cliffs individual modules on sale, but then the pack isn't on sale. The pack is not on sale, which is very strange. That's a weird combo. Anyway.
Moving on, we have the MiG-29 Fulcrum development progress. This update introduces the first iteration of the 3D damage model, an optional English HUD and HDD, which apparently never existed in real life. Even the versions that had English cockpits still had Ruski avionics.
Yeah, that's cool.
Lower resolution cockpit textures option for increased performance, addition of the controls indicator, auto start, HUD repeater, export, and new Georgia 2008 missions, Radar improvements include more stable STT extrapolation, refined close combat sensitivity, and adjustments to lock indication and missile launch logic. Numerous fixes address animations, repair logic, DTC issues, IFF on dedicated servers, auto stop, INS alignment, and other cockpit elements. The manual has also been updated with corrected instrument details and missile pair launch information. Here's some points we want to highlight. We saw discussion about the SPU 15LM RWR operations with onboard radar. We gave an elaborate explanation here. So
that's that video we watched, didn't we? Or we put out there about they talked about the RWR, and I think they've kind of put it into a text format on their forums.
Well, they're even showing excerpts from diagrams here, which is this is kind of amazing.
Very nerdy. I love it. It's great.
Very nice. Cool. We saw some questions about mobile RSBN and PRMG stations usage. Please see the guide for a deep explanation. Autopilot oscillation is a priority and is being worked on. I've had this a little bit, like when I sometimes, depending on how stable the aircraft is when you engage the autopilot, it kind of porpoises. But
yeah, I had that. I put it into altitude hold, and it was doing this little like nodding. It was kind of like one of those, those cars with pneumatic suspensions. I felt like a little bit, but I'm sure they'll tease that out of it.
Yes, indeed. And some players reported difficulties with radar use, mainly due to incorrect mode selection. This update includes several radar fixes, and documentation will be improved to clarify proper usage. So, check the latest video from WAGs on Ground Attack. Well, I think we'll probably do that in a moment, but first, let's roll the footage for the Autumn Sale, because as always, they've put out a video and they're always lovely.
Yeah, they're always great.
B. Denson still waiting for the Kiowa Warrior to come on sale.
I don't think. I think two things I will say is last week we said that there's some issues with Polychop at the moment.
Yes.
Mostly that they don't seem to be functioning. So I would hold off if I was you. That's my my personal what's the advice is just don't touch anything until we know more about Polychop. There's some very alarming stuff coming out of them. And then second of all, I think they're generally speaking, a lot of modules won't go on sale for at least the first year. The Kiowas probably would have held, especially the third parties, they'll hold off for a little bit. So
and modules that are in early access, they're not generally going to go on sale.
Yeah. Although to be fair, the Kiowa was very complete on release, if not pretty much 100% complete. But yeah, they tend to make, especially the third parties, it's usually about a year. But they still haven't put it on, so yeah, hold off on that one. I would if I was you.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. I would probably wait until we know what's going on. I don't know. Actually, it'd probably be a good idea to go and take a peek at that forum post and see if there's been any update. In fact, I didn't think to do it before the show, but let me very quickly jump in there and have a peek.
Jump in there. Yeah.
So, Polychop, where did ED we need help as this has been abandoned? Here we go. Here's the original post. Has anything been said? Okay, so this was Sunday. This was just last week. Big Newy. Hi, as mentioned earlier in the thread, I've passed on your concerns to the team, but that is all I can do, and ED can do at the moment. So, there you go.
Yeah. I'm sure there's been. I don't doubt that they're probably going to be like the fact that people are starting to pipe up. They'll be alarmed by that themselves, and so I'm sure, can't confirm anything, but I'm sure there's some sort of conversation happening behind closed doors. So, yeah. Let's like I said, it's not. I'm not saying never. I'm not saying permanently stay away from that. I just hold off until we know more, until we have a very, very clear understanding of what their situation is. I just don't want someone to be, not to be horrible. We don't want another Razbam situation where someone buys a module
this is
kind of
exactly the logic I was using when I took down my Strike Eagle tutorials, because I was like, I don't want to encourage people. And it was funny because there was, most people are kind of like, oh, okay, fair enough. But at the time I did that, there were a lot of people who were like, oh, why are you doing this? It's going to get resolved. It'll all be fine. Everything will be okay. Keep your videos up. And I was like, I don't know, I've got a bad feeling about this one.
Yeah. Well, if anything, you've probably got more of an excuse to put them back up now if you wanted to, because you can't buy it anyway. So you could say, well, if you bought it, here's some ways to use it. But yeah, you probably just don't even want to touch that.
I hadn't even thought about that. You're exactly right. I should put them back up now because it's not like I'm going to be misleading anyone into buying it. You can't buy it. So if you've got it, you might as well know how to work it. Frantic Stone, has something happened?
All the things. All the things have happened.
All the things are happening all the time.
All the time. It's the one thing we didn't want to happen.
Things.
That one thing would be the tornado getting cancelled. Can you imagine? We'd be a riot here. We'd be burning down everything. It'd be going mental. Yeah, you watch. Yeah.
Pink Floyd, yes, back up with the F-15E tutorials, please. Yes, after this stream, I'll pop them back up. There's no reason for me to not have them up anymore.
If they go back up now, even though Deepak did all the hard work, he recorded them, he did them all, but you can thank me, all right?
That's fair.
I was the one that said it.
Dear. Okay. There's violence happening in chat already. Being a babe at Sim Taylor. There's at least one lassie here, surrounded by Nerd Vanna has its charms. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll accept that description.
I'll take that one. Yeah, I'll definitely take that one. And I apologise for this absolute sausage fest, which is the DCS news.
Exactly. Welcome to the sausage fest. Speaking of Sausage Fest, let's bring Daddy Wags into the show here.
He's going to pipe up in chat now. He's going to go, excuse me.
You called?
You called? Yeah. Someone say my name.
It's I'm waiting for him to do a George Takei.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh
Hello.
Anyway, we've got Mig-29 Ground Attack tutorial here from Matt Wagner. Funnily enough, this is the one thing that I haven't done in the aircraft.
Do you know, I'm the opposite way round. I'm the opposite way round. Yeah. There you go. What?
There he is. This is the one thing I haven't done. So I was quite happy to see this tutorial so that I could actually understand how to do the ground attack stuff. And as you would expect in the MiG, it's quite straightforward.
It's really straightforward. Yeah.
Which is nice. It's very, very easy to learn how to do this. You're only doing unguided stuff, of course. You've got rockets, you've got the gun, you've got unguided bombs and canister munitions, but the employment of these seems to be fairly easy. And as always with the MiG, no mixing of weapons.
Yeah, that's a little interesting quirk, isn't it? You have to. Tell me if I'm wrong. You have to use up all the inboard before you can switch to the outboard. Am I right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. It's such a Soviet Russian thing. It's just funny. I don't know why. It makes me laugh. I like the weirdness about it. It's very.
It's so very simple. If I remember correctly, actually, you've got the innermost inner pylons and then the outer or kind of middle ones, and you have to flip the inner outer switch back and forth to go between the different ground munitions. I love the simplicity of that. Like you can imagine it's basically just like it's an electronic circuit. Like there's not really any microcontroller going on there. That's just they probably did it with some resistors and a logic gate.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's so funny. Yeah, I love it.
Good.
I love it. Yeah, it's cool.
So yeah,
I bet. Sorry, go.
Oh no, you carry on.
No, I said I bet it was probably because I was thinking about with Wags doing all these videos and stuff, and because he said he wasn't the lead on this one, he was. I think he said to someone or some point he said, "Oh, it was kind of cool to kind of jump in this and learn this almost fresh."
Yes.
And it was probably nice. You know, you got all these aircraft and they've got a gazillion modes and all these different, DTC pages and 5 million MFD pages. And then in Russian, it's just this. It's not that it isn't complicated, but it's just like, you just turn switch here, okay. You just go, you're off, and just that idea of just something sort of almost like. It's almost dazzlingly simple. I don't know.
Yes.
I just love it. It's charming. I don't know. I like it.
You can't get the correct air-to-ground weapon to select, and Roy from the IT crowd turns up and says, "Have you tried turning it off and on again?"
Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yeah, exactly.
That's literally all you're doing. You just flip-flop the switch, and then you get the next weapon. It's great.
Exactly.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Sim Taylor at Deepak, wish you do more Phantom tutorials. Heatblur, bless their hearts, have been a bit slow with updates. but I'm waiting for you to make sense of the beast. I was holding off because it was one of the potentials for the current tutorial series I'm doing just now. I asked chat to kind of vote on it between the Phantom and the A10, and the votes were for the A10. I would be prepared to do the Phantom now because I think it's already a kind of complete enough stage, although they still have a bunch of stuff they want to deliver.
Yeah, that's such a great module as well. It's such a good module. It's so good.
I've already mentioned it, but like for me, my favorite thing is the fact that you have that interaction with the crew chief, and you can do all the things you would do in real life. Like, oh, have my flaps come down? Are the slats down? Have I got full left? Have I got full right? You know, it's just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they're so good. It's so good. Do you know what's cool? Is it's been really. I'll give all the different developers their due, right? So it's been cool to see, and I'll give ED their definitely their credit. When you see these other like developers raising their bar, there are little things that ED will do to go, yeah, we can do that too. You know, like the big thing was, you know, the C-130, there was the crew chief, and then I'm sure it's part of the same technology kind of thread, but you know, then there's the little video of someone climbing into the MiG-29, and then like the MiG, you know, let's be honest, the F4's cockpit is like amazing, like just the level of detail and little things rattling and stuff, you know, that was also kind of cool.
Yeah,
you know, just little thing, it's like you got like a little hit, like I know, like a clip sitting there doing what it's doing. And then again, getting back to the MiG-29, everyone was saying the one thing that was really good, the MiG-29 cockpit just looked so, and that's one thing I thought, it just looked so good.
Don't forget the Apache and its jiggly headset holder thing.
Yeah. Oh,
that was pretty
hook.
early. Yeah, the wee hook.
Dude, there was people. I have seen people literally losing their mind over that hook.
Yeah,
they literally like, I can't switch it off. I'm never gonna fly this. And I'm like,
but John, I remember Fangate. Do you remember early on the MI8? You couldn't turn the fans on, and people demanded that Bell Simtech implemented the spinning fans, and they did.
Yeah.
And ED, not to fall into the same trap, ED made sure the Hind had spinny fans, and I think they even called out the fact that we know you're going to be asking for this.
Yeah, it's so funny. I just picture, every time I see something like this, it makes me laugh, because I just picture some developer getting in the morning, and he fires his computer up, and there's just an email, and it's just like, they've been moaning about the fan again. Can someone just put it in? And he's like, okay, I'll code it in. I just get this picture.
Head in his hands.
Yeah, or they're sat in like a Zoom meeting and they're all like looking a bit like forlorn, and they're like, what's happened now? And they're like, they've been raging about the fan again. It's broken. Can you fix it? And then he's like, who broke the fan? And he's like, I might have broken it in the last update. And they're like, come on, Paul, you need to fix the fan. You know, I don't know why. I just picture it all like they take it super seriously or whatever, or either that or just completely devastated by the fact that they keep getting harassed about a fan. I don't know. That I feel like there's a comedy drama. There's an IT crowd kind of style skit there. I swear there is. Yeah.
Eagle Wings, Deepak, please bring back the Strike Eagle tutorials. I will. I'm going to do it right after this stream. It would seem there's no point in restricting them anymore. Frantic Stone, thank you very, very much for the donation. That's extremely kind. Sausage Fest, he says, I've been threatened with a good time. As have we all. Pink Floyd, read that a lot of MiG-29 air-to-ground is falling short. I guess that gets fixed in the next patch. Who knows? It's it's just out, so bugs are definitely possible.
Yeah. It's a little bit early on. It's whack-a-mole, isn't it?
Oh yeah. B. Denson, the Fulcrum is so good, so much fun, and so much different than the NATO stuff. I'm really enjoying it. Same. And, I love all the little details. I love the spinny things. I love the INS, as simple as it is. Everything. I love the blinker, like the O2 blinker being this little...
Just going up and down, just doing this.
Thing. All of it. I love all of it. It's great.
And I like the fact, do you know what? I actually thought it was really cool that they added the NS430 to this as well, because it actually is useful. And I think it also leans in. We've seen footage from that conflict, and they've got all sorts of bespoke or commercial grade stuff that's on their dash and things. So yeah, just seeing that was kind of cool.
Am I right? Well, yeah, the Ukrainian ones, it was kind of random stuff all over the place. But I think, am I right in saying that the Polish Air Force actually has GNS 430s as standard kit in the Fulcrum?
Something like that, because there was that really cool mod, wasn't there, a while back we looked at, which was the Polish one, and it's got some sort of, I think it's got like a little mini MFD, and then it's got something on top of it, and it's got, I think the big upgrade was their radios. I think they had like NATO standard radio sets and things. But yeah, part of that upgrade pack was some sort of GPS, and there's almost like a little UFC or something on it. It's really cool. Yeah.
And I've not tried the NS430 in the Fulcrum yet. I need to do that because you know it's just so cool. It's so cool that we have that as an option.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said to me the other day, like you said that you've used it in real life and you've done videos on it before. I say it again, I think even a video series on the NS430 would probably be really cool. Just to get people up to scratch with it, because we know it's in we've got it in the MIA, we've got it in a couple of, we've got it in the Fulcrum.
We were just talking about it, and there it appears.
There it is. There
you
go. Exactly. And then obviously you can actually bring it up, and on quite a lot of modules, can't you? You can just bring it up as a little window, even if it's not 3D and stuff. So I could see it finding its way into some other modules as well, if it makes sense. So.
I forget the username, but there was somebody in the ED forums complaining about the NS430 and saying, "Oh, it blocks so much of my field of view." I'm like, well, it's a physical object. So yes. Like, what's your point?
Yeah. It's weird.
It's like, I'm really happy they added the NS430, but it occupies physical space.
Do you know what it reminds me of? There's a really funny, and I'm convinced it's real. It might be someone trolling, but there was like some TripAdvisor for like the Lake District or something in the UK. And it was for one of the big mountains or hills there, and someone did a TripAdvisor review for it, and they were like, it didn't have like tea or coffee facilities, 1 star. And you're like, it's a mountain in the middle of the countryside.
Really nice hill, lack of facilities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's funny.
Amazing. So, actually, this is this is one thing that we were talking about just before the show, and I know that Wags is here and he's listening. The one thing that makes me slightly sad with the NS430 is that the radios are not simulated, and actually in the real world, that's one of the main. The unit is primarily a radio and a GPS. I don't know what the possibility is for actually making them work in game, but at the very least, if it would be possible to export what frequency is set so it could work in SRS, that would be super good.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably one of those things where, because the NS430's been in the game for quite a long time, right?
It has. It was originally Bell Simtech.
Yeah, so it's probably a case of like it's one of these things. Just I can imagine they're like, yeah, we could do it. It's just we just haven't got around to it. Like, it's just one of these things, isn't it? Where like. Are enough people using the NS430, you know?
Probably.
And then
that's
if
the
enough
thing,
people
probably
do,
not. I'm probably one of the rare people who's like, I wish I could use the radio. I doubt there are many people who care.
Yeah, and obviously they've got a finite amount of resources. So if someone said to me, would you rather they put radios on the NS430, or do we get like fixes to like a major module? I think what most people would pick, at least. Yeah, it's one of these things. So that'd be cool if they did, though.
Yeah. We get this question almost every stream when we show the Fulcrum. What are the spinny things? Trackers for the helmet-mounted queuing system.
Yeah. Also, am I right in thinking on Wags' video there, they're not spinning? They don't look like they're spinning there.
They're not currently spinning, but he has the switch in air-to-ground mode, and I don't know if that inhibits them.
Because they were like, in some aircraft, in some settings, I've seen them, they just spin up and they're constantly spinning. Because I've noticed they turn on, in the Black Shark, they turn on when you slot that helmet sight down, and when you slot it back up, they stop spinning. So I wonder if that's like a minor visual bug or something. I don't know, I couldn't say, but maybe it's supposed to do that, or they prime or something, but at least in this video, they're not spinning.
With the master switch in air-to-air, and the mode in nav, and WCS on, they spin, has been my experience.
Oh, there you go then, yeah.
Wag saying here, something we want to do, but we have far higher priority tasks. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That would be so cool because it's great having the it's really great having the the comm radio and the nav radio in that unit in the real world. So it'd be cool if we could use it in the sim also. Wag's also saying you can disable them in the special options
that's
tab.
fair play.
So it may be the case that they've been disabled there.
Yeah. Do they always in a MiG-29 then? Do they like always spin, or are they supposed to stop spinning when it's not in use? I was just curious because I know at least in the Black Shock they spin when it's in use, and then they stop spinning when it's not in use. Could be the Black Shocks, but is not.
Certainly, the thing I've noticed is when I power the WCS using the right console, they spin up at that time. And for me, I think they were spinning all the time, no matter what I did. But who knows?
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So here we go. We've been there we go with WCS enabled. We've been talking over Wagsy's video the whole time. He's been demonstrating all kinds of cool stuff for us. But this was kind of cool because you kind of have a CCIP mode, but you also have like a kind of pre-queued mode as well, which he demonstrates here with a little steerable circle. So it's very, very basic, but it actually has some functionality.
So one thing I was trying to figure out with this is, do you know it does, because he was setting it up on a pre-planned mode. There you go, on a pre-planned mode, and he said, "Oh, you can get it to lock on a moving target, and then it will give you a marker." So, am I right in thinking it's using the laser rangefinder, and then is the IRST like tracking a hotspot at that point? Like, how does it know it, or is it just the fact that it's lasering a moving target and it just provides a drift based upon its current?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm on about? That's the only thing I was like,
saying.
how's it doing that? Like, what's the mechanics of that? How's that working?
I would assume it would be the IRST, but the thing with the IRST is it doesn't have that much field of view down, so I guess you would have to remain in a dive while you're doing that for it to work, I guess. But I'm just talking nonsense here. I've not actually played around with any of the air-to-ground stuff.
Funny enough, I've done the opposite. So I've done a lot of... I've fiddled around with the ground stuff, and then I need to still get... I've used the bore sight mode and the... what's the mode? Where it's almost like a vertical scan mode, whatever it's called, like a close quarters vertical scan mode. Yeah, I've used that, and then obviously the head track, the helmet mount sight. But yeah, the actual like BVR modes, I've not really messed around in that much. So yeah, I'm almost the opposite. Yeah,
the accuracy in air to ground seems to be rather good. I have to say. So whatever sensors it's using in combination with the laser, it's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. No, it's surprisingly potent as well. And I swear, because tell me if I'm wrong, but a couple patches ago, I swear they kind of tweaked with some of the warheads on a bunch of stuff, including rockets. Because I'm finding the rockets are slapping. Like, used to be yonks ago, you used rockets and you'd see the little health bar, wouldn't you? Whatever it go down like 10%, you're like, oh, bugger. But I've noticed that, like, at the very least, if you get direct hits on, like, say, a T-55, you can mess it up if you've got the right heat rockets or something. They're actually kind of working. Yeah.
No, that's definitely the case. It was mentioned. Some of it was mentioned in the change logs, but I think there's been quite a bit of work in the air-to-ground munitions. Probably, I guess, while they've been doing all that work on the fusees. Because for a while, like the Mark 20 Rockeyes were. Almost not doing anything. I don't know if that's been fixed now, but certainly like the blast effect or fragmentation effect for bombs and rockets is so much better. I've noticed that. Like actually, even when I did my APKWS video today, I was using the high explosive version. I wasn't even using the penetrator rockets, and it was destroying lightly armored vehicles. So there's a definite improvement there because I don't think that was the case in the past.
No, they used to. I know at least like a BMP, it would take like 3 or 4 in the past. From my experience, at least, it would take 3 or 4 if you're using the HE ones, and then the MPPs would be like 1 or 2. So
I was able to do it with 1 now, so it's massively improved, which is nice. I don't know. I don't even know what the realistic effect should be, to be honest, but it's definitely more than it used to be.
Yeah.
Viking Cat, can you do waypoints on the fly in the 29, or does everything have to be pre-programmed? Everything has to be pre-programmed. There's no doing anything on the fly. If you need to do on-the-fly navigation in the 29, you're either back to good old Dead Reckoning and just calculating headings yourself, or you can do RSBN manual navigation with course, with set course lines, which I used to do that a lot in the 21, and is way more effective than you would think. And actually, in a similar way, in my video where I went over the F5 remaster, I did some TACAN navigation in the same way. And it's amazing, a little bit of radio navigation gets you a long way. You can do a lot with that.
Absolutely. Could you use the NS430 if you wanted to? Can you plug in like new waypoints in that thing when you're going as well? So that's another potential option if you've got that.
Yeah, absolutely. The NS430. The only thing is it requires you to use like kind of pixies that are already in its database.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your source for that is going to be, because certainly like in the airspaces that I fly in the real world, I have charts and I can read off my fixed names on the charts. But like, for the Syria map, like how do you know what the navigational fixed names are? I don't know where that information is. So, but yes, in short, you could create a flight plan on the fly using the 430.
Yeah, there you go then.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to cut this one short. It's a very, very nice video on Matt Wagner's channel on YouTube. Go and check it out. This basically details pretty much every kind of air-to-ground deployment the 29 can do. So either read the manual or watch this, and you'll be up to speed in no time.
But the last thing I did like about his video is he was like, "Oh, we've got this last mode, which is the toss mode, where you literally fly almost upwards, and it gives you a chance to get out of dodge." And he's like, "I love it," because he was like, "Yeah, you could use it for nukes," and then you heard him go silent for a moment. And he went, "We're not adding nukes."
Realizing the mistake he'd made in mentioning such a thing. Of course, the 21 had or has a nuke in game.
Yes.
I don't know if it still works or not, but that used to be quite fun. And actually even installed the nuclear consent panel on the canopy frame whenever you had that loaded. It's very, very cool.
Brilliant.
Nice. So the other thing we had this week was, we had the patch. And this includes a couple of new campaigns. It decreases the time of saving and loading large missions, fixes some crashes, and some fixes for AI. But then we had a bunch of stuff for the 29, which was already mentioned in the newsletter. But we've got some nice additions and fixes here. Complete with some known issues. Currently, the helmet co-op mode usage sequence has a bug if radar state was off before the mode was activated. And then it gives you a little workaround there. F-16 gets some fixes, the Hornet gets some fixes, and the Hind gets some fixes. And somebody is using these nice little expandy bits again in the changelog, which I like. So I like big thumbs up there.
Yeah. It's one thing I just want to bring up, if Wags is still here, and this is a small plea, and this is for their benefit, if anything. So you guys have got this great little thing that's in the Discord, the development highlights, and it's really, really cool. If you guys haven't seen this and you've got Discord, in the ED Discord on the side in the channels, they got this little channel called DCS Development Highlights, and they're just little snippets of stuff they've
It's like a wee
mostly
show and
what
tell.
they've done. Yeah, it is. It is a tiny little show and tell, and they occasionally will put
he was going
in
to say
things.
we, but then he realised he's not Scottish.
Yeah, and I was like, I would sound terrible. But yeah, but yeah, they'll add mostly things they've done, but they'll also give the odd little wink. Like I think not long ago they showed a bit of the Zero cockpit. It's really cool, and I'm like, okay, a lot of people use Discord, right? But also, you guys have got like Instagram and you've got YouTube. Like, stick it in stories. This is like a great thing to stick in like stories or small posts and stuff like that. And you can do things on like Instagram for highlights. And what's great with Instagram as well is you can repost to Facebook really easily. Like, it seems crazy. You've got this really cool little thing, which is lots of small victories you're showing off, and it's only in one place. So all I'd say is, like, you've got this awesome little thing. For people who are watching, go check it out if you're on the Discord. It's got loads of little detailed little snippets.
I didn't even know that it existed until John showed me, and I was kind of similarly impressed. I was like, "This is great. I enjoy reading these."
It's really cool. So it seems like you're going to all this effort to do it and put it elsewhere. Like sing and dance about it, because it's really cool. It is really, really cool. It's a nice little thing. Even little things like they're like, oh, you can now like fine tune like what you put in the mission editor down to 0.01 degrees. Like if you rotate it and stuff. It's like, it's silly. It's small, but it's all kind of building up a positive. What's the word? You're showing off all the things you got, because obviously when you get like a wall of these patch notes are cool, but it to the average person it can seem like a bit of a wall of text, understandably, because it's patch notes. But these little like development highlights things are cool because it's usually an image or a short video, and it kind of demonstrates like what it's doing. So yeah, it's both a shout out in a way, but also like it's really cool. Use it more. It's really awesome.
I like me a good change log. Whoa.
Yeah, I love this stuff. It's really cool.
Thank you very much, Tea Kettle Barbecue. That's another 10 memberships there. Deep Hack's ground crew is growing. I'll take this opportunity to do my call to action. Please, everybody, subscribe, like, and comment. It's a really big help to me and to the channel. Smash that like button. And yes, also the Deep Hack's ground crew is... that's a way of further supporting the channel. You can click the join button below. It's a small monthly fee, and it really helps me in creating this kind of content. So thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.
So yes. Thank you very much, Tea Kettle Barbecue. Sim Taylor, one more question. Are you still doing the quarterly question and answer videos? Really enjoyed those. And Wags replies, rather tied up with Fulcrum videos and producer duties. Yes, I imagine our boy is spread thin. Lots of stuff to do. Frantic Stone, shorts are the king of marketing because the world has ADHD nowadays. It's essential to shorten content. I lost interest halfway through that sentence. So
that's how short his attention span was.
Exactly. I think they're putting something in the water.
Frantic, what you need to do is what you just said. You need to stick that in a short.
Exactly.
No, honestly, I if I can say anything, if you still there, Wags, those development highlights are really, really cool. That's a really cool little thing. Get it out there because they're really awesome, and I feel like they'd be another little positive thing. They're like these little. I wouldn't say they're a deep dive, but it's like it's usually no more than like a paragraph or a quick
like
video.
A shallow dive.
It is. It's a shallow dive. You could call it that. DCS shallow dives. But yeah, it's these cool little highlights, and it just goes into detail, but it's just short and sharp, and I just think they're cool.
Somebody in chat was saying that I should create a second channel called Deep Hack's Deep Dives, where I go into detail on some of the aircraft, and that's funny. But much like Wags, ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So anyway, you brought my attention to this one, and it's looking rather cool. It's the DCS F100D Super Sabre project tracker, which was recently updated, and it would seem that they are approaching 100% when it comes to code progress, at the very least.
Yeah. It's look, this is another module I think is going to be really, really cool.
Yes.
F100. I guess this is a late second gen, right? That's like it's kind of straddling late second gen, early third gen, the F100. So I don't know where it stands in that, but it's a really cool aircraft because it found a niche role kind of within. I mean, I think it was the OG Wild Weasel, if I remember rightly, and then the F105 took over from it. But it's this, it's just this really cool, really kind of it got thrown into this, early Vietnam theater, and it kind of had to carve out its own sort of role. And like you said, it's got some also weird little idiosyncrasies. Like if you've never heard of it before, there's the old saber dance. So this thing originally would, in certain AOA and stuff, would get a bit wacky with how it flies. But yeah, Granelli this is a great example of like a mod maker raising the bar and then end up becoming a full module developer. And what I love about this, by the way, is it's really cool. There's all these lovely, as it being a graphic designer, these infographics and all this UI stuff they've got here is absolutely fantastic. There's even like, you can kind of zone in on their like, what are these even called? Like kind of flow charts of how some
like
of their electrical
schematics or
systems
flow
work.
charts. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of really nice stuff in here. And I have to say, let me just refresh the page. I like the way it loads.
Yeah, you see it go. Yeah. It's like when RoboCop switches on, doesn't he? And you see all the little things kind of come up on from his view. Yeah, love it.
Would you like to know more?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So yeah, this looks really good, and it looks like they're approaching being ready for release, which is exciting. Although please note, these numbers are subject to change and are both estimates and apply equal weight to art and code, which of course, as we all know, is not exactly accurate. I really like the R-HAW, the way that it's visualized. It's very, very cool indeed. This is some proper like oscilloscope energy coming off of this one.
Yeah. It looks like an Aphex Twin like music video or something, doesn't it? I love it. It's great. I love it.
Come to daddy.
Oh, do you remember, is it Star Trek The Borg? They would have these things up above their little alcoves. It looks like that thing, whatever that thing was. Yeah.
It does look like that a little bit.
Yeah.
And we've got some in-progress shots of the cockpit, although these are a bit earlier now. I would imagine that it's looking a little bit different at this stage.
Yeah. It's probably progressed.
So yeah. I don't know very much about the F-100D, actually. I think, John, you know more about it than I do, but I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's a very cool aircraft. Like I said, it's got a lot to it, which makes it interesting. It fits into... I like the modules that come in, and like, if you can imagine, there's like a gap within DCS within the kind of the stable. This is an interesting, cool little gap that it fills, but yet you can use it on a lot of the Cold War servers. You could do a bunch of really cool stuff with it. So yeah, I think it's I am absolutely going full nerd. It's a cool little aircraft. And I'd be really curious to see how it progresses. In Granelli, this is their first full fat module. So I'd be really curious to see what their first outing's like, because if anything of their what's the word, their presentation, if we could to go off any of that, then we've probably got ourselves a really high quality module here.
Frantic is asking why Deep and John are not playing Tarkov.
I can't play PvP because I just get my ass handed to me. PvE is all right, but PvP,
same.
I just get my
I play Tarkov all the time, and I always get my ass handed to me, and I come back from
I'm not a masochist. The same. Yeah.
So, next we have a little something that you brought to my attention, John.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was excited to see this. We have some renders of a Jaguar. And I believe this is a community module.
Yes.
That's coming at some stage.
Yeah,
is my understanding.
There's a GR1 Jaguar. I don't know if it's a GR1A or a GR1. Let me have a quick gander. I can't remember what they said in there.
Oh.
So
chatter saying it's time for me to reset my camera.
Oh, do a little quickie thing. Yeah.
While you're figuring that out, I'm gonna.
Yeah, absolutely. 1 second. So if I go into where's their mod thing on here? Sorry guys, I just want to confirm what one it is. DCS
Jaguar.
modding. It's definitely it's a Jag and it's a GR1A, and they're called Skyforge Studios. So they're a mod maker, and they're doing an EFM, which is really interesting. So we want to do an enhanced flight model, and they're doing a 3D model in Cockpit. I assume they're probably sticking to unguided munitions and sidewinders at most. But yeah, it like, as you can see from these screenshots, I mean, these are early renders, right? And a lot of modules, I don't want to be horrible, but a lot of modules kind of will get stuck at this stage and maybe not progress, but it's still promising. And we just don't have any, us poor Brits, we don't, other than like World War II, obviously different, we've got Spitfire and stuff. Us poor Brits, we don't have much in DCS at the moment. It's probably down to MOD being a bit funny and stuff. But yeah,
well, we could fly the Chinook in our colours. And of course,
Apache.
when the Herc comes out, and the Apache. So yeah, I guess you effectively have three airframes that are currently in use by the RAF, which are or will be in game. So yeah, you have that.
Yeah, I get. I'll reword it. An indigenous British aircraft. How about that one? It's something that we mostly get. Although I suppose the Jaguar is also French as well.
Yes.
But yeah, basically, it's kind of cool. So yeah, be curious to see how this pans out. It's very early stages. It's the kind of thing where I would probably, unless they're not telling us that they're a lot further on, I would probably anticipate this is probably at least a year or two out. But it's looking very promising. So yeah, look at that detail. The cockpit's the thing I was really surprised by. It looks absolutely fantastic. So
yes, it does. Yeah. I would be all over even an early Jaguar like this. I would be all over that. That's very exciting to me. Nice.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
cool.
Frantic Stone got Jaguar before Tornado, shaking my head. I've not played in over a year because I've been waiting for these modules. Those are lies, Frantic Stone, and we know that those are lies.
Yeah.
Tornado is better because it comes with a tea maker? What?
Yeah.
Is that? I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure that's not true.
I don't think the Tornado has a boiling vessel. I know most of our tanks do, but yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Mm.
Madness. Absolute madness. Dave Gaming, I managed to fly the Super Sabre at FS Expo this year, and it was great, despite the model and textures not being finished. I think I saw a little bit of footage from that event, and it did look really cool. So, that's an exciting one. Looking forward to that aircraft, even though, it's not one that's ever really been on my radar. I don't know that much about it. But I would definitely fly that. Something that's not in the show this week because it happened too close to us starting. Tricker, friend of the channel Tricker, just an hour or two ago put out a video about the C-130 in DCS. He calls it a preview of the module, which is very, very exciting, which might suggest that it's coming soon. So that's going to be pretty cool. The other thing that's coming soon, and actually we kind of touched on it last week, is Heatblur were teasing and saying the F-14A early model is to be expected for the next update. So I would imagine that means the update that's coming kind of mid next month, most likely. So that would be pretty damn cool.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the F-14A, I think in their post, they said the next patch is F-14A and the A6.
Intruder.
A6, yeah. I mean, it's just going to be cool to see that. I mean, we're effectively getting another aircraft now for the carrier, which is awesome, and the A6 is just wicked. I'd love the A6; it's so cool. That's another one I could gush about. And then the what is it? Obviously, they've got the BU that's being worked on. They've got because they've got an F4 now. Is it the DMAS that they're going to eventually do for the F4E? It's
correct.
Like it's got the update. It's got the Tizio, which is kind of like the Tomcat's TCS. And it's got some other features. I think it's got CCIP as well. I think it adds.
It does.
And a couple other things. And then they are still sort of chugging away at the Eurofighter, and obviously updating their own modules and tweaking bugs and fixing things and stuff, I'm sure, which is an endless fun experience for any DCS developer. Is just tweaking bugs. But yeah, so and then eventually we will obviously get the full fidelity A6 at some point as well.
Yeah, we've got Viking Cat when multi-crew Intruder. I think we're looking quite a way off because Heatblur has a lot on in their pipeline already.
Very busy boys. Yeah, I think I have a suspicion. I have a suspicion that they've probably got even more on the horizon as well. So I'd be curious to see. It's been a little bit quiet, and I don't know. This is my little prediction. I'm going to do another one. I love my predictions, like Mystic Meg, Septic Peg, whatever you call it. I reckon there's some bubbling under the surface. I think we might get some cool stuff. Whether it's new developers, new modules, I don't know. But I've got this feeling there's some bubbling under the surface. So I'd be really curious because, I would say the MiG-29 came around super quick. So I'm really curious to see what ED do next.
Well, they have a mystery helicopter, remember?
Yeah. So I've seen someone popping in the chat earlier, and I couldn't catch who it was, but they were saying about what the mystery helicopter is. And as far as I know, and this is basing off comments that Wags have said and just what we know. So it's not a Black Hawk. They want to do a Black Hawk, and they've basically put dibs on the Black Hawk. Understandably, why? They're not going to do it yet. I think they said the mic don't have all the stuff they need for it, but if they were, maybe a Lima. Although there's a very good Lima mod, by the way. If people want to fly Lima, it's not a Whiskey Cobra. Although a Whiskey Cobra is so cool. I thought it was, and it's not, but they've got everything they need to do a Whiskey. So my prediction was it was a Mangusta. I think that's what it is, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. And then I said, what if it's a Eurocopter Tiger?
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah, that's my prediction. It's a Mangusta, A129 Mangusta. But I other than that, I could be very wrong. It could be something Russian. It could be something else. As for the Bow 105, we've kind of said this before. The Bow 105 has been in development now, what, like 12, 13 years? It's been in development a long time. And I just the problem is there's been lots of very text-heavy updates on the Bow 105 and not a lot of in-game footage. So once I start seeing in-game footage, I will kind of believe the unicorn is real. But until then, I'm kind of very skeptical. I'm sure there are stuff, but I'm always skeptical how far it is away till I start seeing some stuff. Oh, Viking, you say that. I had a conversation with someone the other day. I was like, it would be hilarious if it's a Comanche. And I mean that in a positive way. If ED did a Comanche, I'd laugh my ass off and be like, that is the coolest thing ever. I would love it so much.
You know what
Comanche would be rad. What's that? Oh, the old flying caravan. Yeah.
K-27.
K-27, yeah.
It's such a wonderful kind of utilitarian naval helicopter. And for like anti-submarine and anti-shipping, it's just kind of... It's kind of cool. Now, does anyone else want this? The answer, of course, is no. I'm the only person who wants this. But I think as far as helicopters go, that's pretty damn cool.
It's cool in a your dad's old bell-bottom trousers cool, where it's cool but in a kind of ironic way. But yeah, it's wacky and I love it because it's wacky. So yeah. This is
what are those minivan? Yeah, this is like the equivalent of the kind of American minivan, isn't it? As far as helicopters,
it's like a Winnebago with a coaxial rotor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I honestly think this thing is so cool, but hey,
it's
I doubt anyone else agrees.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and then if like the other one, Tech Gaming, like don't get me wrong, I'd love a Lynx. That would be cool. A Lynx would be rad. Lynxes are really cool helicopters. So yeah, I bet you Wags is sitting there going, just like twirling his moustache, his imaginary moustache, going, "You have no idea."
Yeah, exactly.
Keep guessing. I'll never tell you.
I bet we all sound pretty dumb to Wags.
Yeah, he's going. These guys all sound like idiots.
Yes. Keep guessing, fools.
In fact, our first DCS development short is going to be how much of an idiot John is.
Oh dear. Well, anyway,
here's how he was wrong.
Whatever it's going to be, I'm excited. But we have, it sounds like we're getting the early model F-14A in the next patch. Could we also be getting the Herky Bird? I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I feel like it's close.
Yeah. Oh, dude, a Venom would be rad. Yeah, UH-1Y would be really cool. Well, that's a cool helicopter.
It is. It is a cool helicopter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's all the actual news that we have for this week. We're just at the point now where me and John are spraffing, as we would say in Scotland.
Just talking crap.
So with that, I think I will say he's been John Bloor. Now, you can follow him if you go to twitch.tv/John Bloor and click the appropriate button. And I wonder, John, while I give a big shout out to Deepak's ground crew with the scrolly scroller, which is, you'll all be happy to hear, now Alpha Spaghettical.
Amazing.
Yeah, I got a lot of flack last time because it wasn't alphabetical. But yeah, John, I wonder if you can tell us what you've been up to while I praise Deepak's ground crew. And a quick note that you can join Deepak's ground crew by clicking the join button below.
Yeah, so Twitch. So I finished up the stuff for Nuke Option, all the merch for those guys. It was fun. It's cool. I may get back to that. For now, I think they're busy with actual game development. So we've got a nice set. So and you also, whenever you have like products like this, you want to space it out a little bit. You don't want to splurge too much, so to speak. So so I don't know if they might come back to me soon, but for now at least that's now done. So I've not got that to stream. And then what I did do the other day, I tell you what I did. And I even harassed Wags and his Mig-29 video, and he's like, "Go away." I sat down and I did a stream, and I looked into the Black Hawk a little bit more with the mod, which is cool. But what I did do was I dived into George in the Apache because I wanted to see what the new flight model was like in the Apache, because they tweaked some of the rotor stuff. They're still doing more work on the rotor dynamics for the for helicopters in general, I think. But I jumped into the FM because there was this weird yaw oscillation that was happening when you would like get settled in and trim up. and that's now gone. So if you guys have been having some trouble on the Apache and it kind of yawing around, jump back into it again, because it's really basically fixed. It's lovely to fly now. And then the other thing I was playing around with was George. And George is night and because I kind of messed around with him, but I didn't realize how much they'd added in. So I don't know if you guys have used the Apache, but you've got that cool little thing in the corner, right? The George AI thing.
It's quite a nice little interface.
It's a nice little interface, and he has been like really improved. Like and I don't think it's again, it's not been talked about enough, I think, because it's actually a huge upgrade with what you can do with him. So he can now, like, here's just an example of things you can do. So you can do an FCR scan, and you can then tell him to basically look at where so he knows what's on the FCR once you've done the scan, and he'll then look at it with the TADs. So he'll look at it and kind of confirm what you're looking at. You can get him to look at like waypoints and target points. You can get him. The really cool thing is you can set him. So say you're flying along and you're going into like an enemy area. You cross the front lines. You can just tell him to just scan. You can do it like just scan around if you're kind of like a little bit cagey or whatever you want to do, and he'll scan an area and you'll just see him watching. And I've paid attention. I've kind of tested around with like what his scan zones are, and he will spot stuff. And it's really cool. So you can, do you know how, like, again, if people haven't used George, you tell him to look once. Once he looks, he does that scan and he just sort of leaves the TADs looking that direction. Mm-hmm. He'll just continuously do that. So you can do a bunch of different new modes of him. And the other really cool one as well is that sometimes he'd lock onto a target, but he would like maybe lock onto like a turret bustle or like a barrel of a tank. So when you laser it, there's a chance that the hellfire might go long or short because it's getting like back scatter and stuff.
First return or last return switch.
Yeah, and you can use the first and last return to kind of get rid of some of that, but he would like kind of not get a very good lock. He'd get the IAT, which is called the image auto track lock, but he would kind of not be quite right. Well, you can now get him, you hold down the weapon consent switch and he'll tidy up his lock and he'll like get more center mass. You just hold it down until you're happy and let go, and then he'll go yep, and he'll re-engage his image auto track. That's really cool. Then the last thing, I'm gushing about this because it's just so much to it. You can queue up a bunch of targets. So you can find all the targets and you can create like basically get like a hit list. You can just go, right, I want you to kill him, 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 and him. And then you can just literally just go, okay, and he'll just fire a hellfire, kill the target, fire a hellfire, kill the target, fire a hellfire, kill the target. And you can just leave him to do it. So yeah, you can do a bunch of stuff. It doesn't quite ripple fire, but obviously because you're lasing stuff, but still he'll go and kill a bunch of things. So yeah, it's he's honestly huge improvement. Like I was blown away by it. And I just want to hear Wags talk about it in his lovely voice because he would explain it 10 times better than I would.
Tell us a nice bedtime story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
Nice.
So that's what I did on my last stream. So yeah, I'll be getting back into some DCS stuff soon. It's just sitting down and doing it.
Very exciting. That sounds great. Well, I'm going to take this opportunity, as I always do, to pimp the VAF. Let's go and do that now in this new format where John can actually come along for the ride. The VAF, or the Virtual Air Force, is a virtual online squadron originally started by myself and Dot Chuckles many moons ago. We currently fly on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at around about 8 p.m. UK time. We operate in EU time zones, and we presently fly the Harrier, the F-16, and the F-18. We're always looking for more pilots, air traffic controllers, mission makers, scripters, livery makers, and all that sort of jazz. If you would like to join us in any kind of any way whatsoever, you can join the Discord link in the show notes below. And everybody's welcome, whether you fly with us or not. You're welcome to come along and talk about recipes if you'd like, or just talk nonsense or talk about aviation in general. So yeah, that's VAF, the Virtual Air Force. Come and fly with us. It's a good laugh.
They're great guys as well. Yeah, good dudes.
Yes, indeed. Wags, Raptor 9 and the engineers have put a lot of good work into the Apache and George. A video is on my to-do list. There you go.
There you go.
From the man himself. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not bullying you too much. I'm just it's a bit of a laugh, you know.
Yes, indeed. Cool. Alrighty. I think that's everything that we have for this week. Very, very exciting. If you do join Deepak's ground crew, you get access to a top secret Discord, which at some stage I will make a free tier for because I've been asked to. And we do flights once a month. Our next flight is actually tomorrow. So if you want to come and fly with Deepak, John, I don't know if you're there or not tomorrow, but if you want
Should
to,
be, yeah, I'll probably be there. Yeah.
So if you want to go flying with me and John in DCS, then go and click that join button below. It's
if you want to suffer that, then yeah, come and join us.
an incentive if ever there were one.
Hey man, I could bring an Apache, and if people are really curious, they can come along, and I can go and show them what George can do. You know, I'll be happy if they want to firsthand.
Absolutely, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, I'll almost certainly take up the Fulcrum because that's the thing I'm getting to grips with just
Fulcrum's
now.
fun as well. Definitely do that as well. Yeah, it's a fun jet.
Yep. But in any case, I've been Deepak. Every Saturday I post a new tutorial video at about 6:30 p.m. UK time. I'm currently doing a series all about the A10C2 tank killer from Eagle Dynamics, and that series will continue next week. My tutorials are always followed by the DCS news, which just happens to be this thing, what you're watching right now. Thank you all very much indeed for watching. Fly safe, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.